In the apocryphal Book of Enoch, we encounter a tale of watcher angels who left their heavenly posts for mortal women. These angels not only introduced magic, but also imparted forbidden knowledge, leading to humanity's downfall and the Great Flood. According to the Book of Enoch, these crimes against humanity troubled the Archangel Michael, who petitioned God to stop them. Michael's complaint wasn't about the devil granting them power, but rather that the Watchers had taken the secrets of the heavens and misused them. This essential lesson emphasizes a critical principle. While God is a creator and a source of light, those who dwell in darkness are destroyers and cannot create light themselves. Most magic is based on the principle of the moon, which reflects the sun's light but doesn't generate light on its own. This principle unveils the secrets used by the knowledgeable who manipulate us. At its core, this manipulation revolves around polarity and magnetism, shaping and influencing situations. It involves drawing people in or pushing them away, exploiting our natural attractions and repulsions. These concepts are mirrored in the stars, where certain alignments are called exaltations, attracting, while others are falls, repelling or veiling. Let's explore 4 exaltations closely connected to the powerful cardinal points, the equinoxes and the solstices. First, the sun's exaltation in Aries coincides with the northern hemisphere's days gaining more light than darkness during the spring equinox. This alignment embodies the themes of self-improvement, self-empowerment, and godlike figures among us. Think of superheroes or sports stars drawing people like magnets into these empowered narratives. One of the biggest genres in pop culture are movies with main characters that have awakenings to superpowers of some kind, such as Superman, Star Wars, The Avengers, and many others. To be so, it is truly a magnet. Opposite this lies the sun's fall in Libra, which snuffs out the light. People are not drawn to having their light extinguished. The sun, aligned with Libra, can represent receiving your power from Libra, the partner. So these themes can manifest as codependency and laziness, making it unattractive for storytelling. Very few would be attracted to a movie where the basis of the theme was for the main character to grow more and more lazy and codependent as the story progressed, and then ending with him or her less empowered. Which is why these planetary forces and polarities are also at play in politics, rallying one side by framing the other as codependent or less empowered, and by ultimately framing their enemies as taking away their own light of the sun or empowerment via taxes. While falls have their place, as they can show the beauty of a compassionate helping hand, they often push us away. Few wish to be in situations requiring assistance, and these energies usually repel us. The next exaltation revolves around the concept of Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter, symbolizing kingship and expansiveness, aligns with Cancer, the archetype of motherhood, home, safety, and nurture. This theme is beautifully embodied in stories like The Return of the King, where a long-awaited protector returns, expanding safety and security throughout the realm. It's also seen in stories and legends of a hidden child destined to bring peace, like Jesus, who was taken to Egypt, Moses, who was sent down the river, or Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings. Even Luke and Leia Skywalker were concealed from Darth Vader. This storytelling ingredient is repackaged and reused again and again because it works so effectively. Yet this theme also can be wielded as a powerful force against us. It exerts a strong magnetic pull, leading many to seek safety and security, avoiding risks at any cost. People will often opt for lower-paying, stable jobs over potentially more lucrative but unstable careers or self-employment opportunities. The magnetism of this exaltation also plays a key role in things like the insurance industry, that draws people in and makes people feel safe and secure. On the other hand, Jupiter in Capricorn, its opposite in fall, brings a repelling force. Capricorn initiates winter, symbolizing a lifeless underworld with minimal sunlight, depicted as a relentless climbing goat or associated with themes like the devil, government, and tough fatherly figures. Capricorn's energy can be off-putting, much like someone who incessantly complains. This energy can be harnessed in various ways, such as addressing obstacles effectively. However, it repels when used to reinforce male dominance over women, or expansion of governmental powers. A story centered on this fall might depict an evil ruler who effortlessly conquers half the land and then takes over the rest with minimal resistance. Definitely not an appealing, inspiring plot. Dark forces often exploit this energy because it's an uncomfortable topic for people, unless framed differently. The next exaltation we'll explore is Mars in Capricorn. Mars symbolizes action, determination, and the flow of energy. Some recognize it as the god of war and the ruler of the Aries constellation. Now, consider the cosmic context. Capricorn marks the darkest point in the season, while Mars, linked to Aries, stands as the cardinal point following Capricorn, where light begins to conquer darkness. This exalted alignment signifies a turning of the tides, where darkness appears to triumph initially, but the light ultimately makes a comeback. In religion, it's akin to the story of Jesus being crucified and then rising from the dead, triumphing over death itself. In spirituality, it mirrors our personal dark nights of the soul, where we overcome inner struggles to rediscover joy, happiness, and enlightenment. We're all drawn to a good comeback story. How often do we see these concepts unfold in the movies? How frequently are we captivated by tales where the odds seem insurmountable, yet the heroes somehow find a way to prevail? As a society, we've eagerly paid to watch the entire Avengers franchise figure out how to defeat Thanos and his armies, or Frodo and Aragorn confronting the dark forces of Sauron, or Luke Skywalker facing off against Darth Sidious and Darth Vader. Like the other exaltations we've discussed, these themes resonate repeatedly. That's why storytellers keep repackaging these same narratives with different settings and characters. It's also why we are compelled to root for the underdog. There's simply a magnetic pull to do so. These themes can be potent tools for polarization and manipulation, particularly in religion and politics. The Capricorn theme, associated with the devil, can be used to demonize other faiths or political parties, painting them as evil. It instills hope that our Mars-like actions can lead to change, rallying armies of people and intensifying polarities against the perceived enemy. This energy can mobilize the masses effectively. Conversely, the opposite and fall of this alignment is Mars in Cancer. It's a concept best not lingered upon. Imagine a warrior taking up arms against his nurturing mother, an idea so unsettling that most would prefer to keep it out of sight and out of mind. It's a force that can effectively shroud certain topics from open discussion. Out of the cardinal exaltations, this is the last one we will explore, which is Saturn in Libra. Libra marks the equinoxial point where the sun begins in balance of light and darkness, but gradually succumbs to the encroaching darkness. Saturn is often associated with black magic, and is known as the Black Planet, being the ruler of Capricorn, the sign that buries the sun at its cardinal point. Saturn forms a potent magnetic alliance with Libra, creating a vacuum-like effect that draws everything into its dark grasp. Libra is also known as the other half, representing relationships and partnerships within the zodiac. When Saturn is in Libra, it introduces friction into relationships. This dynamic is vividly portrayed in movies like the romantic tales of Guinevere and Lancelot from Camelot, or the tragic love story of Romeo and Juliet and all of its many spin-offs and remakes. It's also creatively explored in films like Avatar, Pocahontas, and the Twilight Vampire series. This retractive force injects conflict into relationships, where characters may belong to different tribes, alien races, or even opposing worlds, leaving us to wonder how they'll navigate these challenges. Politically, this incredibly powerful magnet is frequently used to manipulate public opinion. This archetype also embodies the ideas of affairs and mere accusations without convictions, which can halt political campaigns, force high-polling candidates to drop out, or distract an entire nation from more pressing issues. Clearly, we can be easily swayed by the influence of this alignment. Conversely, the opposite and fall of this alignment is Saturn in Aries. This alignment would disintegrate the sense of self. If we were to create a movie based on this veiled force, it might look something like this. A boy meets a girl. They spend most of their time holding hands and gazing into each other's eyes. We watch them smile at each other for several minutes. They lose their sense of identity and no conflicts arise in their relationship. The end. It's safe to say that not many would attend this movie, even though such moments of pure connection with a partner can be very strengthening and bonding, even essential for a long-lasting relationship. The following exaltation revolves around the moon in Taurus. The moon symbolizes emotions, intuition, and right-brained creative thinking. Taurus, on the other hand, represents earthly matters like possessions, food, wealth, and treasures. In our world where most things decay or are quickly consumed, so the moon aligning with Taurus naturally would be the inherent concept of us yearning to fulfill our needs and at times to feel like we have abundance. In movies, this theme typically unfolds as someone embarks on a quest for treasure where others have failed. The main character possesses the power of the moon, which could manifest as greater intelligence, intuition, extraordinary luck, superhuman abilities, magic, secret knowledge, or a unique perspective. Films like Sahara, The Da Vinci Code, and National Treasure often explore these themes, infusing them with creative and magnetic allure. However, this energy can also draw people in less desirable ways. Many individuals have an emotional connection to money, making them more susceptible to being swayed by the allure of wealth. Additionally, the belief that they are either better, smarter, or luckier has led many to spend significant amounts on lotteries and gambling. Conversely, the opposite, less desirable, and veiled fall of this alignment is the moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus. It's not about what you have, but what belongs to others. This theme reflects ideas such as elites using magic, subliminal messaging, like logos and sigils, emotional manipulation, or encouraging people to feel a spiritual connection to part with their money, among potentially more sinister motives. This fall remains concealed, often disregarded because people naturally prefer to avoid confronting the possibility of such activities. This avoidance, however, serves as a form of natural protection for those who engage in these covert practices. The next exaltation we'll discuss is quite important because it has a lot to do with what we perceive as genuine and credible. It is the alignment of Mercury in Virgo. Mercury represents communication and expression. So by examining Virgo, we can gain insights into what type of communication is more compelling. Virgo embodies qualities of purity, perfection, cleanliness, and health. However, it's essential to note that these attributes often require a higher level of control. Achieving physical fitness, for example, necessitates control over one's diet and exercise regimen. Similarly, society doesn't produce an excess of virgins without a controlled system in place. In the context of mass acceptance, what's spoken and recognized generally stems from the established system. For example, church authorities' interpretations of Scripture hold more sway than other views. Mainstream scientists and accredited medical professionals usually have the final say, and it often takes substantial anecdotal evidence to challenge their authority. When ancient documents are discovered, the Mercury and Virgo theme demands a rigorous process, including expert reviews, adherence to protocols, and the presentation of a perfectly ordered narrative from start to finish. Virgo is also highly detail-oriented. It thrives on precision, akin to a professor presenting data with charts and graphs. If we deviate from this theme, people tend to resist. For instance, if we discuss only 10 of the zodiac constellations instead of all 12, viewers are very likely to let us know something was left out. To align with the Virgo theme, everything must be thoroughly checked and in order. Conversely, the opposite and the fall of this alignment is Mercury in Pisces. Pisces encompasses elements from other realms, such as heavenly matters, the subconscious mind, and dreams. It often operates in a non-linear fashion. Imagine piecing together fragments of a dream that doesn't always make logical sense. Would that be an engaging movie? The disjointed, non-linear nature of Pisces can be perplexing. Books like Isaiah and the Book of Revelation in the Bible have a Piscean quality. They aren't always in chronological order and can be challenging to understand. Other examples, like the raw materials channeled from higher dimensional alien beings, or the Book of Mormon, received by Joseph Smith in the 1800s from an angel, embody otherworldly Piscean archetypes. When they deviate from the orderly Virgo system, they face resistance when presented to the public. En masse, without the certifications of recognized authorities, those who ultimately control the system can shape how history is perceived, even if finding an actual, truly higher intelligent being could be beneficial to humanity. We're not suggesting that one way is inherently right or wrong, but it's worth contemplating how we measure truth and credibility and who is pulling the strings behind the scenes. Lastly, let's delve into the next exaltation, where Pisces holds more magnetic energy, while Virgo takes a back seat. This alignment is represented by Venus in Pisces. Venus symbolizes how we prefer to experience love, and as mentioned earlier, Pisces encompasses the extraordinary, whether it's the heavenly realm or the land of fantasy and imagination. In storytelling terms, this theme can be summed up as, "and they lived happily ever after." Who wouldn't want a story with a blissful ending? Pisces, with its theme of ascension, is often depicted as the northern fish of Pisces ascending to heaven. Similarly, in the sun's journey through Pisces, it overcomes darkness and reaches the equinox point. Who wouldn't desire to be loved in a way that lifts all burdens and transports them to a heavenly state in their relationships? This archetype also embodies the enjoyment of fantasies, providing a magnetic pull for us to escape from reality. Habits like addiction to social media, indulging in sexual fantasies, zoning out while watching movies or playing video games, consuming alcohol and drugs, and engaging in various forms of entertainment all have a magnetic allure. The higher powers recognize that we can be manipulated and influenced by these things. We're not arguing against the occasional enjoyment of these activities, but it's essential to be aware of their magnetic forces. Conversely, the opposite in the fall of this alignment is represented by Venus in Virgo. In its extreme form, it manifests as controlling how love unfolds. Think of arranged marriages, or one spouse dictating every aspect of the other's life, from thoughts to beliefs, stripping away their freedom. It's certainly not a story many would want to watch for hours. However, like other falls, there are positive aspects to this theme. For instance, it could signify purity in a relationship where both individuals have genuine hearts and engage in honest dealings. Our team's aim with this presentation is to shed light on the magnetic influences in our world. We don't seek to convert you to any specific viewpoint, but rather to empower you to recognize the influences that surround us. This way, you can make informed decisions that aren't easily manipulated by darker forces. Ultimately, the choice between light and darkness lies with you. By light, we mean the illumination provided by the sun and its rays, offering intelligence and clarity uninhibited by the shroud of darkness.